Hey there, and welcome to Family Revenge. We're so glad you're here. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay with us for every twist and turn. Let's jump right in. I was elbow deep in a stack of dusty paperwork when I found it. The folder was wedged between a tax return and some old vendor contracts. It looked just like the rest, except it was sealed. Cream-colored envelope. Bold red pen across the front. Transfer agreement, final. My mom's handwriting. I almost didn't open it. Almost. But then I remembered the check I'd written the week before. $2,100 to replace the shop's broken lift. No one asked. I just paid it. Like always. I peeled the flap open and pulled the papers out. 2 pages, clean, straight to the point. They'd signed over everything, the shop, the building, the land, to Mason, my younger brother. No mention of me. Not one damn word. I stood there, frozen in that dingy back office, holding the proof that everything I'd poured into this place meant nothing. That's when I heard the door creak open behind me. My dad walked in, still in his grease-stained work shirt, holding a styrofoam cup of gas station coffee. His eyes locked on the envelope in my hand. "You weren't supposed to see that," he said. No apology. Just that. I didn't say anything. He shifted his weight, took a sip. "We figured you'd understand. You've got your own thing going on." I laughed under my breath. Not loud, just enough to keep from throwing the damn folder across the room. He didn't say another word, just stood there like I was supposed to nod and walk away. So that's exactly what I did. I set the papers down on the desk, neatly, calmly, and walked out. Past the rusted-out file cabinets, past the customer waiting room with the sagging chairs I'd personally reupholstered last year. Didn't even grab my purse from the front counter. Just got in my car and sat there, staring at the cracked windshield, wondering how it had all gone this sideways without anyone bothering to tell me. Quick note. Before we go further, share which city or country you're watching from. I didn't even start the engine, just sat there, door shut, windows up, the air inside stale with old receipts and burnt coffee. My hands were still shaking a little. I pulled my phone out of my bag, opened the calculator app, and stared at it. Like maybe seeing the numbers again would make it all make sense. 8,000. That's how much I wired to their landlord the week before the shop was set to get locked up. They hadn't even told me they were behind. Mom just said, "Things are tight," and Dad was being stubborn about negotiating. I called the number on the eviction notice taped to the shop's door and paid it. Just like that. No thank you. No conversation. I'd covered their accountant's retainer 2 springs ago when they were too behind on taxes to even file. 500 upfront, 2 more payments after that. I'd paid for the new printer, the vending machine refills when they couldn't afford snacks for customers, a security camera upgrade when someone broke into the back lot. Little things, maybe, but they added up. So did the big things. I gave them money like most people give birthday cards. Quietly, no expectations. And now it was like none of it ever happened. That wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was what I gave up without writing a check. I stayed in town after college because my mom said it made them feel better knowing I was nearby. "Just for a couple years," she'd said. I was 22. I didn't even push back. Just unpacked my stuff in a crummy rental 10 minutes from their house. 4 years later, I turned down a promotion that would have moved me to Dallas. It came with a raise, an assistant, and a company car. But when I told them about the offer, my dad said, "What if something happens with the shop? We need someone around who gets it," so I stayed. Again. And while I was holding the fort, Mason was flipping sneakers out of the garage and live streaming Call of Duty like someone was gonna discover him. No job, no schedule, no direction. They called him entrepreneurial. They called me too serious. I used to laugh it off, pretend it didn't get under my skin. But sitting in that car, clutching the steering wheel like it was the only thing grounding me, I felt it hit me square in the chest. They never actually asked me for help. They just knew I'd come through, that I'd handle it, that I'd figure it out. They treated my sacrifices like common sense, like facts of life, gravity, taxes, me. I remembered the very first time I gave them money. It was small, $400 to fix the air conditioning when it died during a heat wave. I slid it into my mom's purse while she was distracted, didn't even tell her. I thought it'd make her feel less ashamed. Now it was just expected. A silent, never-ending line item on my budget labeled family. And for what? The business I bailed out 3 separate times. Gone. Signed over like some old set of tools they didn't want anymore. No share, no recognition, not even a mention. I was supposed to understand? That's what my dad said. Because I had my own thing. Funny thing is, my own thing was always second place to theirs. I dropped my phone into the cup holder, heart pounding. I couldn't stop thinking about how clean that contract looked. Just 2 pages. So tidy. Like it was never even a question who it would go to. Not the daughter who kept the lights on, the son who couldn't keep a job. I looked at the office window, saw the shadows moving around Said, and I realized they probably weren't thinking about me at all. I drove straight home, didn't stop for groceries, didn't answer when mom's name lit up on my screen. Just went upstairs, turned off the hallway light, and sat on my bed like I was waiting for something to catch fire. It didn't. Instead, I opened my laptop, logged into my bank, and canceled the auto payment for the shop's electric bill. Click, gone. Then I opened my calendar. Every Tuesday, a repeating reminder: order oil delivery. Delete. Another one for Thursdays: place snack order for customer lounge. Delete. I scrolled through months ahead: birthdays, bill checks, service reminders. I wiped it all out, one by one. No calls, no explanation. Just done. The silence was strange at first, like a power outage where you don't realize how loud everything was until it stops. No panic, though, just this sharp, still calm. The next morning, I got a text from Mom. "Can you check the checking account?" "Something's not clearing." I didn't answer. Day after that, "We're low on coffee pods again." "Did the order not go through?" Still didn't answer. They didn't sound concerned. Just routine. Like it never crossed their minds I might have stopped. Like my help wasn't even attached to a person. It was just there, like heat in the vents or the ice maker humming at night. By the end of week 1, I expected something. A call, a knock, a question. Nothing came. Week 2 rolled in. Then I got the first message that didn't sound automatic. "Shop rent's due. Can you send what you usually do?" I stared at it for a second. I was sitting at my kitchen table, spoon halfway to my mouth, cereal going soggy. I put the spoon down and typed one line. "Ask Chase." It's his now, sent it. Didn't wait for a reply. I closed my phone, stood up, and started loading the dishwasher. Nothing special. No music, no dramatic pause. Just dishes, soap, hot water. It felt final, but not loud. Like locking the front door after you already moved out. They didn't follow up. Not right away. I wondered if they were shocked. Or if they thought I was just having a bad week and I'd come back around. That was their pattern. Ignore the cracks, assume I'd patch them. Not this time. I'd never said the word no out loud to them. Not really. I'd said I'll try, or let me see what I can do. I'd paid, I'd fixed, I'd stepped in. This time I didn't say anything. And in that silence, I finally felt like I had a voice. It started with a buzz on my nightstand. Transfer request. $3,200 from Dad. No message, no explanation, just the amount, bold and blunt. I stared at it for a second, thumb hovering. Then hit decline. 2 minutes later, another one. Same amount. Then my phone lit up again. Mom calling this time. I didn't answer. It rang until it stopped. Then the text came through. "Are you seriously doing this?" No. "Hey, no, how are you?" No acknowledgement that maybe, just maybe, I had a reason. I slid the phone into my hoodie pocket and went to make coffee. I wasn't even mad. Not yet. Just stunned at how fast it turned from expectation to demand. Another buzz while the Keurig heated up. Mason. Just help them. Like always, I leaned against the counter, eyes still on the blinking brew light, and typed back, "You're the owner now. Be the owner." I waited, half expecting some long, dramatic rant. Nothing. Just read receipts and silence. A few days passed. No calls, no money requests. Then a message popped up from a number I didn't recognize right away. "Hey, your mom's worried." Maybe just call? I squinted at the contact name. Distant cousin, Kara. Haven't seen her since someone's graduation 6 years ago. Definitely not close. That's when it clicked. The gossip had started. I opened Facebook. Big mistake. There it was. A photo of the shop. Front sign glowing. Sunset in the background. Captioned in my mom's handwriting-style tone. "Sometimes we give everything, and it's still not enough." I read it twice, then scrolled the comments. "You're amazing parents. They're lucky to have you. Don't let anyone take your shine." I didn't comment, didn't like, just watched it snowball. Then I saw Mason's post. Black background, white font, dramatic as hell. Some people don't understand loyalty until it's too late. And of course, it was public. Because why keep the family shame private when you can wrap it in cryptic martyrdom and serve it to the internet? That was their move. Not a single one of them called to ask what happened, not even to fight about it. Just skipped straight to painting themselves as abandoned saints and me as the ungrateful daughter. I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I just sat on the edge of my bed with the phone in my hand, realizing how easy it was for them to flip the script. They'd spent years pretending I wasn't doing anything special, just helping out. But the second I stopped, I became the villain. They wanted a version of me that kept giving quietly, no voice, no pushback. The second I drew a line, I was cold, disloyal, difficult. Mason had the business, the paperwork, the keys, but they still wanted me to carry the weight. And now, when I finally put it down, they wanted to hand me the blame too. By the end of that week, it wasn't just one post. It was a campaign. I opened Facebook Sunday morning and saw my mom had changed her cover photo to the shop sign again. Same angle, different caption. When you sacrifice everything and it still isn't enough. Not tagged, not named, just public. Just pointed. Then came the quotes, every other day. Screenshots of generic crap like, entitlement doesn't recognize effort, or some people only show up when the work is done. Always with some sad emoji and a trail of so true comments, and they worked. My Aunt Linda commented under one, shame on anyone who forgets what you've done. You two gave your lives for that place. Another cousin chimed in, people take advantage when you've got a good heart. It was like watching them build a bonfire with every good thing I'd ever done and then set it ablaze for sympathy. Then Mason took it up a notch. Big block of text, zero punctuation. Looked like he was ranting from his car. Everyone always wants to be the hero till it's time to actually do something. All that fake support means nothing when you leave your own family to clean up your mess. I didn't ask for this, but I stepped up. Some people just walk away 74 likes, 11 comments, all praise. Proud of you, Mason. You're doing your best, that's what matters. It's hard being the one left behind. What got me, what really cracked something in my chest, was seeing Erica's name under it. Not a comment, not a message, just a red heart reaction. Erica, my cousin, the one who once told me, years ago at Thanksgiving, you're the backbone of this family. I stared at that heart like it was a switchblade. Not even the guts to say something out loud. Just a little red symbol, silent and easy. I shut my laptop, sat on the couch in the dark, didn't cry, didn't pace, didn't call anyone to ask what the hell was going on. I already knew. This wasn't about guilt or confusion. This was a rewrite. They weren't ignoring me anymore. They were erasing me, taking every year, every dollar, every backup plan I ever gave them, and sanding my name off the side of it. Suddenly, I was just the one who left. They'd made peace with the idea of me being gone, but they couldn't handle me being right. So they rewrote the story. Hero parents, burdened son, bitter daughter who cut and ran. It played better. Gave them something to hold on to while the real truth, that they used me until I had nothing left to give, just quietly disappeared. I sat there until the screen went black. No music, no shows, no distractions. Just silence and the weight of watching your own history get redrafted in real time. 3 days later, a plain white envelope showed up in my mailbox. No return address. My name wasn't even on it. Just the apartment number, handwritten, smudged like someone wrote it in the car. I opened it on the kitchen counter while water boiled for pasta. Inside was a photocopy of a lien notice. Black and white, boring font. No drama, the property housing the shop, flagged for seizure, past due taxes, final warning. I flipped through the pages, 3 of them. No note, no explanation, nothing circled, nothing highlighted, wasn't even addressed to me. I turned the last page over and grabbed a pen from the drawer, wrote slow and neat across the back. Maybe give it to the son you trusted. Stared at it for a second. Then crumpled the whole thing and tossed it into the trash with the paper towel I'd just used. Didn't flinch. Didn't second guess. I wiped my hands on my jeans, sat down, and opened my laptop. City tax portal. Took me 2 minutes to find the property record. They were 2 years behind. Almost $15,000 in total with interest and penalties. And not a single payment made since the transfer was filed. They'd burned through the reserves, if there even were any left. Probably figured I'd catch it, step in, fix it. But they never said it out loud. That was their move. Pretend they had it under control until I noticed the bleeding and showed up with a bandage. This time, I didn't. I closed the laptop, stirred the noodles, cooked dinner, washed the dishes, folded a load of towels while a rerun played in the background. Nothing special, just life happening. Quiet, clean, mine. Let the building fall. I didn't ask who got the notice. I didn't ask what they were going to do next. I didn't care if Mason even knew. They could watch it slip away the same way I watched them let go of me. No panic, no warning. Just gone. I was halfway through answering emails when the front desk buzzed. Hey, your parents and your brother are here? They say it's urgent. I froze. They just walked in, I asked. They're standing right by the front entrance. Should I tell them you're busy? I didn't even hesitate. Yeah, I'm unavailable. Got it. I closed the call and sat back in my chair. My hands weren't shaking. My pulse wasn't racing. I just felt done. They didn't leave. I finished my work like I always did, line by line, box by box, then shut down my computer and walked out. When the elevator doors opened, I saw them through the glass. My mom in a wrinkled cardigan, wringing her hands like she was at a funeral. Dad standing stiff, arms crossed, jaw set like he came ready to fight. Mason was leaning against the wall, hood up, eyes on the floor. I walked out calm. No smile, no greeting. You came all this way to ask me again? I said. My mom took a tiny step forward, soft voice, careful tone. We thought you'd understand. You're strong, Angelina. I tilted my head. No. You used that to take me for granted. Dad's voice came hard, louder. You'd really let your family lose everything? I stared at him. I already did everything, I said. And you gave it all away. Mason finally spoke, barely above a whisper. It wasn't my idea. I snapped my eyes to him. But you took it anyway. He didn't answer. I let the silence stretch. Let them feel the space I'd carved between us. Then I turned. Don't come back, I said. Don't text. I'm not your net anymore. I walked to the parking lot, heels clicking on the pavement. Didn't look back. Didn't slow down. I got in my car, locked the door, and watched them from behind the windshield. They didn't chase me. They didn't shout. Just stood there looking small. For once, they were the ones without a plan. I started the engine, pulled out of the lot, and kept driving. I didn't hear from any of them for 4 days. No texts, no transfer requests, no pity posts, just quiet. Then my phone buzzed while I was eating lunch at my desk. You better be proud. The shop's going under from Dad. I locked the screen and kept eating. A few hours later, Mason finally chimed in. You think this makes you better? I didn't reply. Because it wasn't about being better. It was about being done. Without their drama filling my inbox, the silence felt weird for a minute. But then it started to feel good. Clean. I started walking more, not to burn calories or clear my head. Just to move, to breathe air that didn't reek of guilt. I was cooking again. Real food. Not just frozen meals or takeout between phone calls from my mom asking about bills. I was sleeping through the night. No chaos, no crisis, just stillness. And once the stillness settled in, I didn't want anything else. One Saturday, I drove through my old neighborhood. Didn't plan to. Just turned left instead of right and kept going. Same cracked sidewalks, same faded playground. And then there it was, the shop. A big white for lease sign taped to the inside of the glass. The windows were dusty, shades pulled. The lights inside were off. No customers, no cars in the lot, just an empty shell. I parked across the street and sat there a while. No music, no heat, just the hum of the engine and the soft tick of the turn signal I forgot to shut off. I looked at the front door, the one I used to walk through with an armful of office supplies or fresh snacks for the waiting room. The door I unlocked when they lost the spare key. The one I propped open when they had no AC in July. I stared at that place like it was a photo of someone I used to love. And I felt nothing. No grief, no pride, no ache to fix it. That place didn't keep me. I kept it. By Monday morning, the Facebook parade picked up again. This time it was my Uncle Dave, Mom's brother, the one who never lifted a damn finger for the shop but always had something to say once the dust settled. He posted an old photo of the place from the early 90s, back when the sign still had peeling gold letters and the lot was full of beat-up sedans. Caption read, "This place was built with love." Sad how some forget that dozens of likes in under an hour. Clapping emojis, praying hands. So true. They deserve better. All the usual noise. Then a comment from someone I hadn't thought about in years. Mrs. Reynolds, my old high school English teacher. Your daughter was always so smart. Hope she comes around. That one stung in a way the others didn't, because I could hear her voice when I read it. Soft, concerned, like I was a stray dog that just needed a hand. They'd all decided I was the problem. Cold, ungrateful, distant. It didn't matter that I'd kept the lights on, that I skipped job offers and drained my savings. None of that made the story. What made the story was me leaving, me going silent. And in their version, silence meant guilt. I didn't argue, didn't comment, didn't even log off. I just watched them repaint everything with wide, clumsy strokes. Because that's what they wanted, a neat villain. Someone to point at while the walls collapsed around them. A few hours later, a message popped up in my inbox. Cousin Danielle. Haven't seen her since Grandpa's funeral. Heard you cut them off. Hope you're okay. Just that. No punctuation, no follow-up. I stared at it for a long time, then locked my phone and left it on the coffee table. They didn't want the truth. They wanted someone to blame. And I finally understood. I didn't have to correct them. I didn't owe them the version of the story that hurt less. I didn't have to defend myself with receipts and dates and all the times I showed up without being asked. Let them talk. Let them build their version. Let them post their vague quotes and hard truths and passive-aggressive throwbacks. I wasn't in their family narrative anymore. I was the footnote, the disappointment. Though we don't talk anymore when someone asks too many questions. And I was okay with that, because I wasn't interested in being remembered for what they made up. I was finally free of having to be anything for them at all. The sky was gray, low, like it was holding something back. I walked down the sidewalk, the crunch of leaves beneath my shoes louder than the quiet around me. When I turned the corner, I saw the shop from a block away. The awning was gone. No more faded blue stripes, no more rusted metal framing, just bare brick where the sign used to hang. The windows were dark, locked, no signs of life, no deliveries, no movement inside, just a hollow space where memories used to live. I stopped, took a breath. For a second, it felt like it was still mine, like I could reach out and pull everything back into place, like it was still the place I held together when no one else did. But then I remembered. The building wasn't mine anymore. It wasn't even theirs anymore. It was just a shell, a place emptied of everything but the cost of forgetting me. My phone buzzed in the pocket of my coat. I didn't even look. I knew who it was. I knew what it would be. A voicemail. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. I already knew. It didn't matter. I didn't need to hear it. I stood there for a moment looking at the shop, now a ghost of what it was. I felt nothing. Not sadness, not anger, just a quiet relief. I turned and started walking. Slow. No rush. The sun was hidden, and the air was cool on my skin. I wasn't walking away from the shop. I was walking away from the story they wrote, the one where I was the one who didn't care. The one they posted, shared, reshaped to fit their need. I didn't owe them a part in the end. I didn't owe anyone a reason. I was free. And for the first time in a long while, I felt it.